Hey everybody, welcome to another round of Canje Plays. Well, Canje Learns. And today we are going to learn Cthulhu Dark Providence. This game was created by Command. They put it out on their pre-order years ago, and then they never talked about it again. And last week it showed up. And I did get the Cthulhu Death May Die extras that came with it, so those are over there. But yeah, it showed up last week, and I was like, okay, cool. Well, I just took the plastic off, and that's all I did. So we're going to learn this game today. There's supposed to be a solo mode in here, and we'll see how that solo mode plays, and if it's a game that you would be interested in, because if they're sending it out for the pre-orders now, which means you should be able to find these in your local game store already, because usually with Command, it goes to retail before backers get stuff. So there you go. It should be somewhere in your local game store. Let's see, Rawson, what's going on? Hello, Adam, what's up? Beth, what's going on? Happy New Year. Happy New Year to everyone. I hope everyone had a chance to celebrate in their own form or fashion reigning in 2026. And it's going to be a great year of board gaming, but hopefully it'll be a better year for everything else and everything else that you hope for. I hope all that comes true. I hope you all have a great, just an amazing 2026, and the world gets better. I hope it gets better. So we'll see. Happy New Year, playing Space Marine 2, watching your stream. Awesome. Yep, super excited. Okay. Gulp. Before I begin, I just want to say thanks to my patrons, subscribers, and if you're coming in to hang out, thank you and welcome as well. There will be a change to the streams tonight. Pac-Man couldn't make it, so I'm going to shift that stream to next Thursday, and if there is time, I might try to squeeze something in just to make it a nice New Year's ring-in, but we're still going through our week of playing, and it'll be great. Waiting for CDP to arrive. CDP? What's CDP? Sorry. I should probably know that. What is CDP? And anyway, well, let's go ahead and get into what this game is. Like I said, from what I read on the site, it looked pretty cool. We'll go to the, well, I don't think we need to go to the site. We'll just dive in, learn this game, and see how it goes. All right, let's get down to the table. Okay, I didn't know how much table space I need, so I zoomed out. And I'll zoom in and adjust based on what it is. Like I said, I have no idea how this works or how this plays, and we'll see. As you'll see, everything is still unpunched. This is how it's going to look when you get the game. Maybe I could zoom into that a little bit and then zoom out if I need to. There we go. So everything will come unpunched, so you can see what it's like when you open it up. So we've got some frames, so some stuff that you could stand up your stand. Oh, Cthulhu Dark Providence. Gotcha. Makes sense. That's what we're talking about. We have player dashboards. We got a few starting assets. It's a solo mode component, see? So there are 6 Elder One cards, 2 Cultist cards, 8 Cultist Behavior cards, and 2 Cultist tokens. So there is solo mode in this, as it says. We'll read through all of this. We'll have to go through that, go through setup. And these are, I guess, the actions that you can take. We will learn all this stuff. Game-ending scores, determining the winner. And then here's the solo mode setup rules. So we'll go through the solo mode setup rules because it says, whenever playing a solo mode, perform the usual setup with the following adjustments. So we'll do the usual setup and switch over to solo mode and adjust the rest. All right, so we've got our tokens, and I'll have this cracked open so we can see what these are. These are control tokens, so 12 of each color. So there's 12 of each color of these control tokens. Lock tokens. These are built towards the stands that you have here at the bottom. Over here we have gate tokens. So they're double-sided. Open gate, close gate. So those are going to be your gate tokens. More locks. These are investigator trackers. So this is the investigator tracker, the ritual tracker. These here are sanity tokens that we're going to be using. These are insanity tokens. So sanity tokens, insanity tokens. Excuse me. These are deep ones. Deep one tokens that are here that we see. We got the Thuthu token that you see at the standee. This is the martial law token, and it says ongoing. Other players cannot claim this city, nor add cubes to this city or asset card. Other players, agents, or deep ones cannot travel to or end their movement in that city, and more standee sets for you to have. We have recruited agents. That's what these are. And we'll explain what those recruited agents are. We've got Amigo that's here, and some cultists that are here. These are the 2 cultist tokens for solo mode. We've got these 3 Watleys. So Wilbur Watley, Lavina Watley, and Old Watley. So these are the Watley tokens. And these are the frames for the standees. For the stands. All these are frames for the stands per player. So as you can see, they come in all player colors for those frames. Then we've got the game board. That is here. We'll open this up during setup. Looks like we've got more of the game board, so the tracker. So this is the track board. That's the game board. And these are the player boards. So these are the player dashboards. There's 5 of these. 1 for each color that's out there that you've seen before. Hey, look at me, learning how to play this. Looks like it comes with an organizer of sorts for this game. The smallest bag. Can I stick my hand in it? If the bag don't fit. We've got some influence cubes. That's what these are, influence cubes. We have, these are player asset cards that we'll dive into and open when we need to. We have the 50 starting asset cards, which are these. And we've got the Mythos cards, which are these, and the player reference. And there's a standee spot too for you to have a standee. Is there anything under here? Nope. So it looks like it comes with an organizer built into it, which will be interesting. Okay. Let's talk about the introduction. So, if I do this, does it zoom more? Sweet. Alright. This introduction. And for the support of this declaration with a firm reliance on the protection of divine providence, we mutually pledge to each other our lives, our fortunes, and our sacred honor. USA Declaration of Independence. Do not think the Elder Ones hold sway in this reality alone. Across the multitude of infinites span realms quite familiar, with all the same nations and peoples who speak all your human languages and dream the same nightmares. The Elder Ones exist across them all. In one such reality, it is a familiar year in a familiar nation, the so-called Great Depression and the ruin it brought to America. An apt time and place to sow discord and division in what would otherwise become a bastion of human civilization. If there is one thing you can count on with mankind, it's selfishness. Greed is universal, and the Elder Ones have ever used it as a means to turn brother against brother, friend into foe. Offer a man a stepping stool to rise above the rabble, and he'll ignore that it bounces atop his neighbor's throat. And the eastern half of that vast continent is the perfect place to foment a second revolution on such dark providence. This realm is a place of shifting loyalties and dark deeds, for corruption to fell powers is an ever-present danger in the nation's most influential cities in this era. Your comrade who has your back may take the opportunity to plant a dagger in it. All is not lost, however. Man, are they talking about 2025? If mankind was without power, the Elder Ones would have no need to lurk unseen. No, they're all too aware of the threat that a united humanity represents, and they need no reminders that even death may die. Overview. Cthulhu Dark Providence is a competitive game in which 1 to 5 players takes on secret roles of investigators, cultists, and dissidents of either of the 2 sides in a fight for the destiny of a country on the verge of ruin. Ruin! Each player's allegiance determines how they score points at the end of the game. However, only a single player wins. During the game, players use influence cubes to bid for the right to claim asset cards, take control of cities, and gain Mythos cards. Each new asset card acquired improves the player's deck and therefore the resources and actions they can perform during a turn. Trying to keep their allegiance secret and pushing the limits of their agent's sanity. Players perform a multitude of actions, swaying recruited agents to their side of the battle, assassinating other players' agents, gathering additional help from powerful Mythos cards, locking other players out from claiming cards, and closing and opening gates, among others, to gain victory points. Victory points. There is no dice for this phase. At the end, the player with the fewest VP and any player sharing their allegiance are eliminated from the game, and the only remaining player with the most VP wins. We went through our component list as I took stuff out of there. So we got the basic concepts that we're dealing with. Basic concepts. Allegiance. Each player in the game represents a side in the struggle for the fate of humankind, which is determined by their allegiance cards. Investigators seek to prevent the impending doom looming just outside the edges of our world. Investigators store victory points by closing dormant gates to dark dimensions, claiming agents with investigator victory points, which are pink victory points, and advancing the investigator track. However, brave as they might be, their lives and sanity are always at risk. If at any point an investigator is driven to insanity, the game ends immediately. Okay? The opposite of an investigator is a cultist. Cultists seek to usher in an era of darkness and chaos, whereupon their otherworldly masters will reward them for their servitude. Idiots. Cultists score victory points by opening dormant gates, assassinating agents, claiming Mythos cards with cultist victory points, green victory points, and advancing the ritual track to bring about the end of the world as we know it. I feel fine. Rewarded with immortality for their loyalty and of questionable sanity, the game end is not triggered when a cultist is either assassinated nor when driven to insanity. The opposite of a cultist is an investigator. We've got dissidents. Dissidents were once cultists and investigators, but have since become disillusioned with their loyalty. All dissidents score victory points for assassinating agents, closing and opening dormant gates, and for the track corresponding to their former allegiance, investigator or cultist, but don't score for recruiting agents or summoning elder ones. Woo! Since dissidents are enemies of both sides of the struggle, concealing their identity is paramount, and they suffer penalties if they ever have their allegiance revealed. The opposite of a dissident is a dissident of the other type. Oh, okay. It's like, what? Hey, Dr. Han, how's it going? Happy New Year. The opposite of a dissident is a dissident of the other type. E.g., or example, a dissident investigator is the opposite of a dissident cultist, and vice versa. Generic victory points, blue victory points, that is not blue, that's black, are scored by players regardless of their allegiance, investigator, cultist, or dissident. Boards. There are two boards in the game game board and the track board. The main actions of the game take place on the game board, while the track board is used to keep track of the player's victory points and their allegiance progression. So the game board, now it's time to whip it out. Let's whip out this game board. Let's put the game board out. Yeah, they don't own that. They don't own that. I think they still own that. And yes, they still own that. Alright, let's get the game board out. So it looks like it's a 4-fold board. And we need to zoom out. That's a 4-fold board. Okay, so that's the game board. So it says the game board, city name is 1. So Pittsburgh, Indianapolis, hey, we go to Gen Con. St. Louis, Chicago, Detroit, Boston, Arkham, New York City, Washington, D.C., Charleston, Atlanta, and New Orleans. So those are the city names. City card reminder of the city card ascent card resources, which are these symbols that you see here, where we will go over what those are. But these are the city card reminder, a reminder of the city card's resources. So I guess each city card might have, probably has something to do with one of these. Hey, Karma Witch, how's it going? Happy New Year. So that's what you see here. We'll go over what these mean as we go through it. City space, which is this area here. Space in which influence cubes are added to claim a city lock tokens. Oh. A space in which influence cubes are added to claim a city, comma. Lock tokens are added to block a claim action, and agents are placed and moved through. So these are the city spaces, which are the pictures. Let's see, where are we? City control slot, which is this. Used to mark when a player takes control over a city. So that's what these things are. City control value, which is the victory points. Amount of VP immediately gained by claiming a city. This value also needs to be matched to assassinate in the city. Gates. This. Dormant gates to other dimensions that can be either closed or opened during the game. Gate value, which is this. The value needs to be matched in order to close or open a gate, and it's gained as VP at the end of the game. So this is immediately gained. This is end of game gained. Primary asset card deck slot, which is here. This. Space in which primary asset cards are placed and influence cubes are added to claim primary asset cards. The slot also lists an effect to resolve immediately when the deck is depleted, which are these. Route. So the between the city locations. Connect cities. Each route has a cost to be paid to move through it. Cities connected by a single route are considered adjacent. Alright, then we go to the track board. Flip, flip, flip. I don't know which side this will go on, but we'll put it here for right now. It makes sense because they're cards that are going here on the side. Alright, so we have the victory point track, which is this victory point track, these two columns. Investigator track, which is the pink, used to track the progression of the investigator side. The ritual track, which is the green, used to track the progression of the cultist side. The Mythos cards will go here. Row of Mythos cards available to be claimed, as well as a reserve to add to the row during the game. This is the city cards. Reserve of city asset cards to collect when cities are claimed. And this is the cache. Reserve of primary asset cards that, unless stated otherwise, don't enter the game. And then we've got Limbo, which is this thing here. Influence cubes used to claim are moved to limbo until they are retrieved. Alright. Now we got to deal with cards. There are... This must be this. I can never see the stinking tab they have on here. There it is. Got it. Alright, so we've got asset cards. So these, Agent Monday, these are all Agent Monday. Okay, so this is all Agent Monday. Agent Tuesday. We'll look at all of them in a second. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Agent Friday. Okay, asset cards form the player's decks and are used during the game to perform actions. There are 3 types of asset cards. Starting asset cards. These are 10 cards of their main agent and comprise a player's deck at the start of the game. Cool. Then we need primary asset cards. Let's find that. What, no dice? There will be no dice for this phase. Let's see. Alright. Let's find the primary asset cards. Alright, that must be these. Okay, so these will go at the bottom here. And let's grab all the primary asset cards. It's a lot of them. There's a heck of a lot of them. Are these agents also primary asset cards? let's see what it says. Primary asset cards. These cards are placed on cities on the primary asset card deck slot and can be claimed during the game by the players to improve their deck and sculpt their strategies. So here is a... Let me find Dimensional Anomaly, because that's the one they're showing as an example. Dimensional Anomaly. Well, they didn't put it in alphabetical order, so that's not a terrible thing. So this is Dimensional Anomaly. Awesome. You are broken. I appreciate you doing that and making my life terrible. Okay, let's fix this. One second. Let's get it working. See my hand, and then fix it. There we go. Okay, so these are primary asset cards. These cards are placed on cities on the primary assets cards deck slot and can be claimed during the game by players to improve their decks and sculpt their strategy. Then we have city asset cards, which I know are these. And the one they showed is Indianapolis, so I'll show Indianapolis. That's this. Players gain access to these cards by claiming and taking control of a city. That's it. That's what those are. So that's that. These are access cards. We've got cultists and stuff there. Mythos cards. That must be these Tiggle cards right here. Tiggle. Hey Joe, how's it going? Alright, so these are reference cards. Yeah, these are Mythos cards, and the one they're showing is Herbert West. So we'll find Herbert West. The card quality is not bad, I'm going to tell you that. And the imagery looks beautiful. The imagery is just straight beautiful. There he is. So Mythos card. This is the Mythos card. Alright, so on a Mythos card, provides powerful effects that players can use during the game but are never shuffled into a player's deck. Victory points, that's what that number is, and sanity test, which is this. This means a sanity test must be performed after this card is claimed. So that's what that is. Then we have our agents. Key is that? Oh, that's this thing. That's what these are. That's what these are all agents right here. So it said agents are characters that players control during the game. Each player starts the game with a main agent and throughout the game can sway recruited agents to their side. Agents provide one additional influence while present in a city for the claim action. In addition, agents may add blue fist power, this thing here, in the city space they occupy, as well as perform actions through the use of card actions, or have their own permanent effects unique to Harry Houdini, Lillian LaFrance, and Alice Ox. Each agent token is double-sided. All agents start the game with their regular side face-up, and only through the effects of Revenants cards can be flipped to the other side. Cool. So this is double-sided, as you can see here. So they've got the Eyes of Doom. This is their, if you can see their eyes. That's the Revenant side, where their eyes are all red. And this is their normal side. Important! All components are limited by their physical quantity. If a game effect would cause a player to exceed the limit, they take up to the maximum quantity available and ignore any excess. Ugh. Time to set up the game. Alright. The following is a setup for a 2 to 5 player game. For the solo setup rules, go to 18. Alright, so we'll go to 18. And it says, whenever playing solo, perform the usual setup with the following adjustments. Why didn't they just do the setup for solo? Instead it says, instead of, when taking your set of player components, take an Investigator Allegiance card and place it face down next to your player board. But it doesn't show you what it looks like. So let's book-ear this somehow. I'll do this. Okay. Place the game board within reach of all players. Place the trackboard to the right of the game board. Hey, I got it right. Place the Ritual and Investigator trackers on the starting space of the Ritual and Investigator tracks, respectively. Alright, so we'll grab boop, boop. And that'll go there. And that'll go there. The starting tracks. Place the Sanity and Insanity tokens in the Sanity test bag and leave the bag near the game board. Alright, so we pop these out. That's the Insanity. We put them in the bag. Then we grab the Sanity. A lot more Insanity than Sanity. We put them in the game bag, give them a good shuffle. And leave them near the game board. I'll put them down here. Okay. Place the city asset cards in a face-up deck to the right of the trackboard. Does it need to be shuffled? It doesn't say to shuffle it, just said to place it. Place the city asset cards in a face-up deck to the right of the trackboard. Alright, well, it didn't say to shuffle it. I assume you have to at some point. So that will be here. Shuffle the primary asset cards, then place a number of face down in the deck area of each of the 12 cities based on the player count. What? 6. 6, 6, 6. What were primary assets again? That's these. Oh, these are primary assets. These are city assets. Got it. City asset cards right there. So we need to shuffle this deck. Alright. Let's zoom out a little bit more. We need to shuffle this deck. Gotcha. So we're here. Let's give it a good old... There's a lot of them that's in here. Oh, and this is not sleeved. It's hurting my soul. Alright, shuffle the primary asset cards and place a number of cards face down in the deck area of each of the 12 cities based on the player count. So it says 2 to 3 players, 3 cards per city, 4 to 5 players, 4 cards per city. And then we'll check out the solo rules to see what we need to adjust for this. I'm assuming we're playing it like a 2-player game. I'm assuming we're playing it like a 2-player game. Oh yeah, I'm doing it, people. We're just gonna do the magic corner shuffle. The corner thing. Alright, cool. That feels shuffled. Let's see if we change that. When taking your player components, remove the following cards from the Mythos deck. Shuffle the primary asset cards. Place 2 primary asset cards face down in the deck area of each of the 12 cities. Then flip the top. Blah, 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 blah. Alright, we're at shuffle the primary asset cards. Yes. Shuffle primary asset cards. Place 2 primary acid cards face down in the deck area of each of the 12 cities. Then flip the top card in each city face up. Okay, so that's for solo. So we'll do 1, and we'll just completely spread them out. Completely spread them out, just random. And then it said flip the top one face up, and it's only going to be 2. So there, there, there. My soul is hurting for no card sleeves. Hey, Cyber Mage, Happy New Year. Okay. Yeah, this says do 3, then reveal. Because this says shuffle 3 per city, then reveal the top primary acid card in city. If an agent card is revealed, place its corresponding token on top of the card. There are a few agents that showed up. So this says, yep. So let's keep going. So an agent was revealed. We need to place their token on there. Agent Gerald. Gerald. Any other agents? Agent Stephanie St. Clair. Agent the Widow. Agent Isabella Impossible. She related to Kim. Any other agents that I missed? Any other agents you see in Secret Order? Okay, that's it. Set aside the remaining primary acid cards in a face-down deck to the right of the tracks board cache slot, which means it'll go here. Shuffle the Shuffle the Mythos. What's happening with my words today? You'll have to throw the cards away after this. Just shuffle the Mythos cards and place the deck to the right of the trackboard's Mythos slot. Reveal and place to the right of the deck a number of face-up cards based on the player's count to create the Mythos row. All right, so there's something for this in here. Okay, it says, remove the following cards from the Mythos deck. Imposter, Migo, and Pandemonium. They are not used in solo mode. Then shuffle the remaining Mythos cards and place the deck to the right of the Mythos card slot on trackboard. Reveal and place 2 cards to the right of the deck to create the Mythos row. Okay, so we're going to have to slide some stuff. Well, we're going to have to zoom out. I don't have the zoom in space for this. Cultist behavior cards. Oh, that's what these are. Okay, so these are what we need. Okay, we need to shuffle this up. That's how my brain's working right now. Shuffle these up. Shuffle these up. Shuffle them together. Shuffle these up. And corner shuffle. Corner. And so shuffle these up. I'm sure when whoever does a proper video of this will be like, we'll do it and then there. So we do that and then reveal the top 2, which I'll show y'all on the close-up video, but there's the top 2. I'll show y'all closer when we get to that point of looking at what happens. Okay. Each player Choose a color and take its corresponding agent board, control tokens, frames, and 7 influence cubes. Leave the remaining influence cubes in a general supply next to the board, sorted by color. Alright, so choose a color. Gray, red, yellow, blue, or purple? Sure. We'll go yellow. So we're going to take its frame, yellow frames. So 1, 2. We're on step 9. Yep. I don't know why we would... We'll find out why we need the frames, but I'm going to grab them. Usually with streaming you probably don't. This is probably for hiding from your other players what you have. Since this is a competitive game. Alright. So it says, choose a color, take its corresponding agent dashboard. So the yellow agent dashboard, so we'll grab that. This over here for now, move that there. This can go over here for now, and we're going to be here. Here. Okay. Control tokens. Let's go back to see what control tokens look like. Okay. These are the control tokens. Alright. So we'll put these in a pile. These over here. Cool. So, agent board, control tokens, frames, and 7 influence cubes. Alright. You will all have to tell me, because does this look yellow to you? Actually, you won't see it there. I gotta hold it up here. This does not look yellow to me. So maybe I'm colorblind, but this does not look yellow. So, but I'm gonna grab them because they're the lightest color I see in this pile. And slightly orange. That's the only reason I'm grabbing them. They're the lightest color I see in the pile. So that's these control cubes, and it says put the rest in a supply. In a general supply next to the board, sorted by color. Does that matter? I don't think that matters. If I can see them, I can say, hey, you want this. Good Lord. Common sense would say I would have poured them in here to start, but you know, common sense ain't so common. Okay. Choose a main agent and take its corresponding starting cards and main agent token. Has anything shifted for first player mode? When selecting your player components, take an Investigator Allegiance card and place it face down next to the player board. I don't know what an Investigator Allegiance card is, so I'll say, do we want, between Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. I think I'm going to go with Agent Wednesday. We're going to go with Wednesday. Okay, so we'll take Wednesdays. What does an Allegiance card look like? Allegiance cards, it's these. It's either Cultist, Ooh, excuse me. Cultist Investigator or something. Allegiance. There's Allegiance. Alright, so I don't know what that. Yeah. So basically, grab the Allegiance cards, which are these. Alright, choose a main investigator, grab its corresponding starting asset cards and main agent token. That would be you. Main agent token. Slide the main agent token into the frame with the regular side up. What the frick are you talking about? Slide their main agent token into the the frame. This frame. Ha 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 ha. Supposed to go like that and like that. And we slide it into the frame, regular side up. So it looks like so. Shuffle their starting asset cards into a face-down deck and draw 5 cards, placing the remaining cards on the deck area of their dashboard. So we'll start with 10 cards. Curds. Shuffle the curds. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The rest goes on the deck. And we get these. Place remaining cards. Place 1 influence cube on the victory tracks space on the 0, which is here. Based on the player count, shuffle the indicated allegiance cards face down. Shuffle the indicated allegiance cards face down. So it says we just get 1. Then deal 1 to each player. Return all unused cards to the box without revealing them. Each player has looked at their allegiance cards without revealing it and places it face down next to their dashboard. So we just gain an allegiance card according to the solo rules. It says, let's see, where are we? When taking your set of player components, take an investigator allegiance card and place it face down next to your player board. It said an investigator allegiance card. Oh, take an investigator allegiance card and put it face down near your player board. Okay, so it's an investigator allegiance card that says the rest are removed. Place, based on player count, shuffle the indicated, then deal 1 to each player, return all unused cards to the box without revealing them. Each player looks at their allegiance card without revealing them. Each player looks at their allegiance card without revealing it and places it face down next to their dashboard. So this is the investigator allegiance card. Okay. So these are, I'll put these off to the side. Place the Cthulhu standee attached to the plastic stand and recruited agent. Oh my gosh. Where's the Cthulhu standee? Here he is. Alright, so it says place the Cthulhu standee attached to the plastic stand and recruited agent, Lockgate, Migo Deep One Watley, and martial law tokens near the game board, separated by type to create a general supply. else? Lock gate tokens. Okay. And martial law. Okay, so we've got Cthulhu. What's the... Oh. Deep ones. That's just stands. That's just colors. We'll need these stands and colors. Okay, so this is all that's really left. And we need lock gate, Migo, deep one, Watley's martial law tokens near the game board separated to create a general supply, which is what we see over here. I'll probably move them over here once I clear all this out. The most suspicious player is the first player. What the hell is that supposed to mean? Starting from the first player and proceeding in the clockwise order, each player places their main agent in a city space of their choice without another agent. For your first game, we recommend each player reveal one random city asset card to determine their starting city. Ignore early A city asset card if drawn. Okay, so we need to move this down here. We still need to do some extra setup. What are these? Oh, these are supposed to go here. And then this might be... Let's remove these. All this table space over here, let's use it. These are my tokens. My tokens. Okay. And let's go back over to this. And this says, when taking your asset, we take an investigator, remove the following cards, which we did. Reveal 2 to the right of the Mythos, which we did. Shuffle the primary asset, put 2, which we did. Randomly select an Elder one and place it face up to the left of your player dashboard. Okay. Who will it be? Oh, great! Cool. Okay. Sure. So this will be my problem. Gotcha. Shuffle the cultist behavior cards and place them face down next to the Elder one, creating a deck. Cultist behavior. Praise the great old one. These are cultist behavior cards. So let's shuffle these up to make a deck. Place the cultist cards in order next to the Elder one card with the unrevealed side up. So these are the behavior card. And these are the cultist cards, unrevealed, cultist 1, cultist 2. Choose 2 of the unselected colors to represent the cultists and their respective frames, influence cubes, and control tokens. Place one cultist token in each frame and the influence cubes and control tokens next to their corresponding cultist cards, forming their personal supply. Okay. These were removed from the game, that's why. They're over here. So, Cultist 1, Cultist 1, Cultist 2, and I need to get their two colors, which will be red We'll do red and black. Red and black. Go back up here. And honestly, I need to make space. I'm assuming I'm not playing with any of these, so hang on a second. So the Cultist red, Cultist black. Cthulhu is my problem. This is the behavior deck. And you need... I'll just put them face down. I'm not going to build all those frickin' standees. They don't need to hide from me. Alright, place Cultist 1 in Arkham and Cultist 2 in New York City. Cultist 1 is going to Arkham. And Cultist 2 is going to New York City. Choose two of the unselected colors. Take their frames, influence cubes, and control tokens. I will need their control tokens. No. Okay. Welcome to learning to play a game. Okay. Place an influence cube of an unselected color on the 6th space of the VP track. This represents the Elder One's score. Purple on the 6th space of the VP track. Oh, you can't see that. Let's go blue. Blue better? Yeah, blue looks better. That represents the Elder One's score. The player plays first. Let the insanity begin. Cool. Okay. During solo mode, the player and the Elder Ones alternate taking turns. Okay, so let's find out how to play the game now that we're all set up. And then we'll go back to find out how to play it solo. I could actually make some better space for myself because this part isn't utilized. Sorry, OCD. OCD. Let's do this. Let's put these out. I didn't select any of you, so I'm assuming you go back to the box, which means, and you'll stay up here, but which means Cultist 1 can go here, and Cultist 2 can go here. Cthulhu will be over here with his behavior deck, and I can take center stage. With all my shenanigans. Actually, let's move it to the side here. These are my 5 starting cards. I'll put this here, that you can see. That you got Cthulhu. Hey, Yogi. Hopefully I missed nothing. No, we're doing setup. We're doing setup. We're about to go into how to play the game now. We just finished setup. So the game is set up and ready to be played. Alright. Gameplay. Cthulhu Dark Providence is played over a series of turns, starting with the first player and proceeding clockwise during their turn. During their turn, each player... Okay, so I go first, then the game. During their turn, each player performs 2 actions plus any number of free actions that they may have. They can place any cards used to perform actions into the discard pile of their dashboard as soon as the action is fully resolved. And then 3, draw cards from the top of their deck until they reach 5 cards in hand. If a player cannot draw a card because their deck has been depleted, they shuffle their discard pile to create a new deck and continue to draw cards until they reach their hand size. Then, once a player turn ends, the next player in clockwise order takes their turn. Play continues this way until one of the endgame triggers occurs, at which point scoring takes place and a winner is determined. Note: it is possible that cards may have effects that contradict a rule. If that ever happens, the card takes precedence over the rules. So we can take 2 actions. The number of actions we can take. So actions may require resources from asset cards to be performed. A player may only use an asset card for a single purpose. Oh, and I was supposed to put myself in the city. I forgot to do that because it says the most suspicious player is the first player. Starting from the first player and proceeding in clockwise order, each player places their main agent in a city space of their choice without another agent. For your first game, we recommend each player reveals 1 random city asset card to determine their starting city. Okay, city asset card, which is this. So it says Indianapolis. So I'll start in Indianapolis. Oop, shouldn't start there. Should start there. So I will start in Indiana. Forgot to do that. And we're not going to use this. It looks cool, and I know it's there, like I said, to hide from other players. Big old secret, but I'm playing solo. Let's save that for the 2-player people. Dump this down here. Give ourselves some table space. Okay. Actions may require resources from asset cards to be performed. A player may only use an asset card for a single purpose. So they can, 1, use a single type of resource, 2, use its action effect, or 3, use its free action effect. When playing cards for resources, player cannot play more cards than needed to meet the required resource for their intended action. Any card with a response effect has the listed effect triggered by a condition. Oh, God. Any card with a response effect has the listed effect triggered by a condition specified on the card. When a card is obliterated, discarded, used for its action, effect, etc., a response is not considered an action, and therefore does not count towards the 2 actions a player can take during their turn. Okay. So some cards have response on them. None of these do, but some of them do. And it says that responses are not considered actions. They just happen. Obliterate. Effects may obliterate cards or tokens during the game. Whenever a card is obliterated, remove it permanently until the end of the game, returning it to the box. If it's an agent card or token, remove its token from the frame, return the frame to the player, and remove the card and token until the end of the game. City asset cards cannot be obliterated. If a city asset card would be obliterated, return it to the city cards area on the track. Oh, that's why they made these. So you know whose it is. That's why they do this. Okay, it's not to hide. It's so you know this is my person. Because right now you can hardly tell who's what. So you need to know who that is. So I have to do this. Ugh, yuck. Alright, so we have to use this nonsense. Alright. Give me a second. Give me a frickin' second. So red is cultist number 2. I'll give you the rest of your crap. That's why it's there. Because you're like, wait, who does that belong to again? And it would be, oh, it's this person. Alright, punched. Gone. Oh no, red is cultist number 1. Oh, it's gray, I guess. I thought it was black. It's gray. So red is cultist number 1. They could have done something a little bit better than this. But whatever. It's cheap. Probably super cheap. Cost them like half a cent. Okay. Love that Joker. Okay, there we go. Now it makes sense why they're there. Now we can tell what color corresponds to who. Okay, we can add influence. So these are the actions we can do. We can add influence. A player may play one or more acid cards from their hand with influence cubes to add, which is this. That symbol, that is influence. So a player may play one or more acid cards from their hand with influence, which is that symbol, to add that many influence cubes from their personal supply to a primary asset card, city space, or mythos card. A player can only add influence to any one card or city space, regardless if they have an agent present, as part of a single action. There is no limit to the number of influence cubes that can be added to a card or city space. Players cannot deliberately place more cards than needed. The only time players can add fewer influence cubes than the number indicated is if they play a card with 2 of those symbols, and they only have 1 available in their personal supply. Okay, so we can never overspend for something, and the only time we can play more than what's required is if the only thing we have is a 2 and we have to play it. Gotcha. We can do so it says example, on her turn, Agent Tuesday plays 2 starting cards from her hand, one with 1 influence and another with 2 influence. She has a total of 3 influence to add to any primary asset card, city space, or mythos card. Looking to acquire the anarchist card in a future turn, she adds her 3 influence cubes to that card. So that would be like the agent or something like that. Claim. First, you can only do this as your first action. A player may use their first and only their first action to claim 1 primary asset card, mythos card, or city in which they have the most influence. In the event of a tie, unless stated otherwise, no player is considered to have the most influence. While the presence of agents is not required, they provide 1 additional influence while present in a city for the claim action. However, a player must still have at least 1 influence cube on the card or city in order to be able to claim it. Cards and cities with a lock token cannot be claimed. The claim action requires no cards to be performed. Note, the Alice Oaks agent's martini glass adds 2 agent influence to her current city space instead of 1. So when performing a claim action, we're not using her, we're using Agent Wednesday. Oh, Agent Okra, she's not out, is she? No, she's not. No, she's not. So, when performing a claim action, the player follows the steps in order. Moves their influence cubes from the card or city space of a city they are claiming to limbo. Any other player with influence on that card or city space returns all their influence cubes back to their personal supply. Follows the steps required for claiming each type of card or city accordingly. See below. Resolves the claim effects on the claim cards, if any. This one has a claim effect. So it says claim. Claim Arkham and add its city asset card to your hand. That's cool. Is that the only claim one? Yep, that's the only claim one. Check if the claim card has a sanity test. This one does as well, right there on the side. And we'll put it up on the board to make it a little bit bigger. So it has a claim, and it has a sanity test, which is what you see right here. So check if it has a sanity test icon. If the icon is present, they must perform a sanity test, and we'll get to whatever that is later on in the book. Important. Some effects allow players to claim cards or cities throughout the game, just like that one. This is still considered a claim action for the purpose of claim effects. However, players do not have to have influence on the cards, nor does it have to be their first action unless stated otherwise. Each type of card has its own steps to perform when claimed. Excuse me. Claiming a primary asset card. The player takes the card from the board and places it in their discard pile. If the card claimed is a recruited agent, the player takes a corresponding token and slides it into a frame of their color, regular side up. Then the player places the recruited agent in the same city space in which the agent was claimed. So if we claim these agents, they will come in this city space once we get them. Okay. Gotcha. Then they reveal the next card in the city deck, if any. If the card revealed is an agent, place the corresponding agent token on top of the card. If the card claimed was the last one in the deck, the player instead increases the ritual track by 2 and adds 1 Mythos card from the deck to the Mythos row. Yikes! A player can only control 6 agents at the same time. This includes their main agent, recruited agents, and Migo. A special agent acquired through Mythos cards. A player cannot claim agents if they already have 6 in play. So example. So this is kind of like okay. Agent Friday starts his turn with influence cubes on the Atlanta city space and on the Revenants and the Wyatt Earp cards. However, he only has the most influence on the Wyatt Earp cards. He then decides to use his first action to claim it. He moves his influence cubes from Wyatt Earp into limbo and adds the card to his discard pile. Simple enough. Since Wyatt Earp is a recruited agent, Agent Friday takes the corresponding agent token and places it on one of his frames. Then he places the Wyatt Earp agent in the New Orleans city space, as it was the city in which Wyatt Earp was claimed. Finally, he flips the New Orleans top primary card over. Okay. Cool. Claiming a city. The players place their control tokens on the control... The players place their control tokens on the city control slot. There's a lot of C's flying around. If another player had control of the city, they take back their control token. The player taking control of the city scores victory points equal to the city's control value. Conversely, the players losing city control of the city... The players losing control of the city, if any, immediately loses the city's control value in VP. So it'll go up and down the track. You don't keep it. Gotcha. Then the player claiming the city takes the city asset card from the city card deck and adds it to their discard pile. Wait. What? They use C too much in this one. Alright, let's start over. The players place their... If we want to claim a city, the players place their control token on the city control slot, which is this. If another player had control of the city, they take back their control token. The player taking control of the city scores victory points equal to the city's control value, which is 3 for this example. Gotcha. Then the player, conversely, the player losing control of the city, if any, immediately loses the city's control value in VP, so it'll go down. Then the player claiming the city takes the city asset card from the city card deck and adds it to his discard pile. Okay, so I would take Atlanta, so for this one, Charleston, from here and add it to my discard pile. So I will gain the city control, have that card, and do it. Gotcha. Ugh. If the city was claimed from another player, take the card from the player's deck, hand or discard pile, so they would get it. So city control shifts. Gotcha. If the card was in the player's hand, they draw one asset card to replace it. If the card was in their deck, they must reshuffle their deck afterwards. Got it. Makes sense. Jeez. A player can never claim a city they already control. Example. Agent Monday begins his turn with the most influence cubes on the Atlanta city space and decides to claim the city. Agent Friday, who also had an influence on Atlanta, retrieves his influence cubes while Agent Monday moves his cubes into limbo. Makes sense. Since Atlanta was under control of Agent Tuesday, Agent Monday replaces her control token with his own. Agent Tuesday immediately loses 4 victory points for losing control of the city, and Agent Monday gains 4 victory points. Finally, Agent Tuesday removes the card from her deck, reshuffling it, and gives it to Agent Monday, who adds it to their discard pile. I understand. Okay, what that means is when you claim the city, you claim the city card. If someone has the city card, you take the city card from them. They have to, if it was in their deck, they have to reshuffle their deck. If it was in their hand, they draw a new card to replace it. If it's in their discard pile, you just take it. If I had a city number on Charleston, and I had 3 victory points, if someone else claims it, I will lose 3 victory points, and they will gain 3 victory points. Wow. Important. Aside from cards that specifically state otherwise, taking control of cities is the only way players gain victory points during the game. All other victory points are scored once the game end is triggered. Okay, so we've done 2 actions. The first action, well, we've done 3 actions. Add influence. Claim, which is, actually 2 actions. Claim, which is, you can only do in your first action, and it's either to claim an asset or claim a city. Gotcha. Now, claiming a Mythos card, which is up there, and we'll take a look at those in a second. The players place the Mythos card next to the designated area of their player dashboard. Some Mythos cards, Cthulhu, Migo, and the Watleys, also have components associated with them that may be collected as well. Do not add a new Mythos card to the Mythos row to replace the one just claimed. In the example, Agent Tuesday starts her turn with the most influence cubes on the Yog-Sothoth Mythos card. She decides to claim the card, adds it next to her dashboard, and moves her influence cubes to limbo. Yog-Sothoth has a claim effect, so Agent Tuesday will gain an additional action during this turn. Cool. So R2 are the black goat. So when we claim it, gain an influence from the general supply. Ongoing effect. After taking an action to add any influence, you may add another influence to a primary asset card. Those symbols on the side, one is a test that we'll get to, a sanity test that we need to do, and the other is, I saw that just now when we were doing setup. It told me what it was. It told me. It's the victory points. So that's how much victory points you will gain. Alright, so that's this one. So victory points, and we'll have to do a sanity test, and then we'll get those effects. The other one is William Randolph Hearst. So when we claim it, it looks like the pink, purple, red, whatever color this is going to go up twice, and the green will go up the green will go up twice. So it's either going to be on those tracks, 3. The ritual and investigator tracks. So it's either the ritual track will go up twice or the investigator track will go up twice. Ongoing. Gold bar on your cards may be used as influence when you claim him. So that is the 2 that have been drawn. So we can 3 claims on a claim, but it can only be the first action you do. Claim an asset, claim a city, or claim a mythos. Gotcha. Alright, retrieve influence. A player may play 1 or more asset cards from their hand with influence to retrieve the same amount of their influence cube from city spaces. Mythos cards, primary asset cards, and limbo in any combination. Influence cubes from the general supply cannot be gained through this action. Example. Agent Thursday plays 2 cards with a total of 4 influence. She decides to retrieve 2 influence from limbo, 1 from the offering mythos card that she got here, right? And 1 from the Boston City space back to her personal supply. So that's how you get cards back. So you can retrieve influence playing cards with the influence symbol to take influence back from limbo, from cards, or from city. So there's a finite amount, and you gotta manage them well. That color doesn't look good on here for y'all to see how much I have left, does it? There you go. That should be better. So stark contrast. Okay. Alright, so that's how you get it back. Buy influence. A player may play 1 or more asset cards from their hand with wealth, which is the gold bar. Oh, I got 2 of them right here so you can see them. These 2 symbols, these gold bars, they're called wealth. So a player may play 1 or more asset card from their hand with wealth to gain influence cubes of their color from the general supply and add them to their personal supply. For every 2 wealth played, the player takes 1 influence cube of their color, so 2 for 1. Any excess of wealth is lost. Once a player has taken all their influence cubes from the general supply, they can no longer take this action. Important. The amount of influence is limited. If more influence would be gained than available, limit the action to the amount available instead, following the standard restrictions of playing the fewest of cards needed to perform the required action. In an example, during his turn, Agent Friday plays 2 cards for a total of 5 wealth, so 3 and 2 respectively, to buy influence. He takes 2 influence cubes of his color from the general supply and adds them to his personal supply. Any unspent wealth is lost and cannot be used in this or any further action. So now we know that that is wealth. We know that is influence. Let's continue. We can spend an action to travel. A player may play 1 or more asset cards from their hand with wealth to move 1 or more of their agents and or deep ones from one city space to another through connected routes. The cost to travel with an agent is the total amount of wealth of the most efficient route between the city space of their origin to their destination. A player can never overpay to travel. The player can use this action to travel with any of their agents in any cities, traveling to multiple destinations provided that they have enough wealth. Any excess wealth is lost. Note, the Lillian LaFrance agent's wheel symbol can move to an adjacent city without paying the travel cost once per turn. So let's get into an example. Example, Agent Monday plays 2 cards for a total with 2 wealth on it for a total of 4 wealth. He uses 1 wealth to travel with his main agent from Pittsburgh to Indianapolis. So there's the wealth cost. And 3 wealth to travel with his next agent, Moses Fleet, from Charleston to New Orleans. So it costs 1 to move here, and then 2 to move through here, as you can see on this board. So it costs 3 to get him to New Orleans. Okay. Alright, that's self-explanatory. I get you. Alright, the next, so we've done add influence, claim, retrieve influence, buy influence, travel. And now let's go into manipulate the ritual and investigation tracks. A player may play one or more acid cards from their hand with the green or pink arrow to up arrow to increase or down arrow to decrease the corresponding track by the same amount played. I don't have this one has it, so we can show this one for an example. So notice on here, we can increase, but we can increase the green by 1, which is the ritual track, or increase the investigation track by 1 with this card. So that's what those symbols mean. Players may only increase or decrease a single track with one manipulate ritual investigate action. For example, a single action may only move one track in one direction. If the ritual or investigation tracker ever reaches the final space of the respective track, the end of the game is triggered. Perform the end game steps immediately after fully resolving this action. So once they get to the top, I believe we're done. Okay, cool. Maybe not the top. Maybe the top. Example. During her turn, Agent Tuesday plays the New Orleans and the James Horace Rose cards to manipulate the ritual track. She advances the track. The New Orleans has 1 and the agent has 2, so she manipulates the ritual track. She advances the ritual track 3 spaces up. Okay. Oh, okay, so we got one more page of actions. Then we'll go to the solo mode to update, and then we can actually play the game. Cool. Alright, so we're down to the last 4 actions you can take. Card actions. A player may play 1 acid card or use a Mythos card to perform an action effect listed on the card. Some cards have free action effects. These are performed following the same process, however, they don't use either of the player's 2 actions for their turn. The following is a list of common actions and free action effects. The skull, which I do see on a couple of those, is to assassinate another player's agent. So it's to assassinate. To assassinate or use the skull against another player's agent, a player must have an agent present in the same city space as another player's agent, unless stated otherwise. Revenant agents cannot be assassinated. Play an acid card that allows the agent to perform this action by playing a card from the corresponding agent if they have a skull. Happy New Year, Frederick. How's it going? I forgot what I was saying. Playing a card from the corresponding agent if they have a skull, or playing a card that allows any agent to assassinate. From the corresponding agent. Oh, like you. You can assassinate. You can assassinate. So if Agent Stephanie St. Clair is in the same space as a cultist agent, and I have this card in my hand, I can use her action, because she is in that space, to assassinate that. Gotcha. Playing a card that allows any agent to assassinate. Makes sense. Okay. Match or exceed the city control value with Fist. Blue Fist. So this is a card action that we can do, and I do have a Blue Fist. Blue Fist! Alright, so we have an agent in the space, have the agent be able to do the assassinate, match or exceed the city control value with Blue Fist, because they haven't told me what that is yet, following the restriction of playing the fewest of cards needed to perform the required action. Agents controlled by the player performing the action that are present in the city contribute their Blue Fist to this action, even if they are not present, they're not performing the action. Agents controlled by the player performing the action that are present in the city can help fight. Can contribute... What? Okay. Words. Let me read this to y'all again. Agents controlled by the player performing the action that are present in the city contribute their fight to this action, even if they are not performing the action. Okay, I understand now. Then, any outstanding fight must come from asset cards played from hand. Play one or more additional cards with fight to match the total city control value. The card used to assassinate does not contribute its fight, if any. If the player doesn't have enough fight, the action cannot be performed. Any excess fight is lost. So if I want to assassinate somebody in New Orleans, I need to meet 6? No, that's the victory point value. What's the control value? Yes, it's the victory point value. No, it's not. It's not that. We'll read the example and it'll help me understand it. The player performing the action that takes the corresponding agent token and places it on the crypt area of their dashboard. The player whose agent was assassinated obliterates the agent card. If the card was in the player's hand, they draw one asset card from their deck to replace it. If it was in their deck, reshuffle their deck. Then they take the empty frame and return it to their personal supply. Important. A player's main agent can only be assassinated if they have no other agents and only if they have 5 or more victory points on the score track. So kill them all, then kill the main. A player's main agent also cannot be assassinated if their cultist allegiance was already revealed. Deep ones, special agents that can be acquired through cards, can be assassinated like any other recruited agent. Their tokens are returned to the general supply. If a player's main agent is assassinated, reveal their allegiance card. If it's a cultist, cancel the assassination and continue the game as usual. If it's an investigator or dissident card, the end of the game is triggered. And I'm an investigator. Perform the game end steps immediately after fully resolving the action. Note, the Harry Houdini agent handcuffs can never be assassinated. Okay. Give me that example to make me understand this. Agent Thursday's recruited agent, Adilsa Chavos, is in the Atlanta city space along with Agent Friday's recruited agent, Gerald LaCroix. On her turn, Agent Thursday decides to play the Isilda Chavos card, allowing her to assassinate. In order to successfully assassinate in Atlanta... Where's Atlanta? Where's Atlanta? Here. She needs to match the city control value of 4, so it is the victory point value. Isilda Charo's token has 1 fight, so she proceeds to play 3 cards to add 3. Oh, her token. Her token has a fight. Okay. So she proceeds to play 3 cards to add 3 fight more. Gerald LaCroix is then assassinated. Agent Tuesday takes his token. Okay, I understand. Now I get it. Okay, so here's how it works. If I want to assassinate this person, let's say this person's not the main cultist, but an agent. If I want to assassinate this person, I need to be in this space with my investigator, whoever it is, or my agent, and then I trigger the, and then I need a card action that lets me fight with that agent. So let's say I had her. She's in this space. I have her card in my hand, so I say I'm going to assassinate because her action lets me do that. I then, on her card, she'll have like a blue fist like on this one. So if you know on my main agent here, on my main agent, you see I got a blue fist. So this counts as 1. So that counts as 1 towards the 6. I then need to play 5 more to do it. If I have multiple agents in that space, then they can contribute their punches on theirs as well to help me fight to lower that value. I understand. I understand. Example: Agent Wednesday's main agent and recruited agent. Yeah, and that's what I was saying. So this gave the example of the fight. So it says, example, main agent and recruited agent Harry Houdini are in the Indianapolis city space along with Agent Monday's recruited agent Father Lachlan. On his turn, Agent Wednesday decides to play the Vicious Conspirator card, which allows him to assassinate it with one of his agents, and decides to assassinate Father Lachlan with his main agent. Since 2 agents combined have 3 fight, matching Indianapolis city control value, Father Lachlan is assassinated without playing any additional asset cards. Agent Wednesday takes its token and places it on his dashboard crypt, returning the frame to Agent Monday, who obliterates Father Lachlan from their deck. I understand how fighting works now. Alright, we got 3 more actions left to go. Oh, nope, there's more card actions. And then we got 3 more actions left to go. Next card action. Close or open a gate. Which you can do. You can close a gate. To close is the X. Close a gate. Open a gate. Have at least one of their agents present in the city without a gate token. Place an asset card that allows that agent to perform a close or open gate by playing a card from the corresponding agent if they have a close or open gate, or playing a card that allows any agent. So this is not, hey, anybody can do anything. This is, you have to have either allow any to do it, or that specific one has to do it. Okay. Match or exceed the gate value with fight. Following these... So the gate value is here. So basically what you do with fighting with here, gate value is here. So if I want to open this gate, I need to match 6 fight to do it. Alright. And any outstanding must come from asset cards. So, okay, so it's like fighting at the gate to close it, or fighting at the gate to open it. Gotcha. Agents controlled by the players performing the action that are present can contribute, just like with fighting. And then we need to play cards to match the value. Okay, any excess is lost. Place a gate token with the corresponding side closed or open, face up on the city gate slot with a control token on top of it. Perform a sanity test. If an insanity token is drawn... Oh, you have to perform a sanity test to do whatever you're going to close or open the gate. That's funny. If an insanity token is drawn, and if it was a recruited agent performing the scan, the agent is obliterated. So if I pull an insanity token out of the bag, the agent goes mad and dies. Gotcha. Main agents cannot be obliterated. Remove the recruited agent corresponding token and agent card from the game. If the card was in the player's hand, they draw 1 asset card from their hand to replace. If it was in their deck, you reshuffle it, and then give the empty frame back. Example. Agent Thursday's main agent is in the Atlanta city space. She plays a starting asset card that allows her to close a gate. Then she plays 2 cards from her hand to add 3 to her main agent's 1 for a total of 4, matching the gate value. She proceeds to place 1 gate token close side up on the gate slot and 1 control token on top of it as an effect of the card. The card is also obliterated, which is something that the card says. Then she will perform a sanity test. This game's mean. And then finally, place or remove locks. A player may play 1 asset card from their hand with a lock symbol to place or remove a lock from their primary asset card. From a primary asset card. Okay. Mythos card or a city space. Cards in cities with a lock cannot be claimed by any means unless stated otherwise. Oh, so you could screw over other people. However, players may still add and retrieve influence from a card or city space with a lock token. A card or city space cannot have more than 1 lock token. So I can lock if I see that they're going to claim something, or that the player's like, oh, I think I want that. As an action with a card that I have, if I have it on my card, I can lock that thing. Yeah, here's one. Place a lock or move a lock from 1 card or city space to another card. So I can say, okay, I see you really want that card. I see you really want agent. I'm going to play the Elder Sign action to lock that card so nobody can get it. That's mean. Important, the amount of lock tokens is limited. If a lock would be placed but there are no tokens available, the action cannot be performed. Example, Agent Thursday and Agent Monday both have influence on a Nikola Tesla Mythos card, but Agent Monday currently has more influence. Looking to prevent Agent Monday from claiming Nikola Tesla, Agent Thursday then plays a starting acid card that allows her to place a lock on Nikola Tesla. She proceeds to place one lock token on the card. Agent Monday will only be able to claim the card after he or another player performs an action to remove the lock on a future turn, and only if they still have the most influence on the card. Oh, this is a take that game. Gotcha. So those are the card actions that you can do. Okay, we're down to discard cards. So as an action, a player may discard any number of acid cards from their hand to their discard pile. Although discarding cards is a terrific way to go through your deck faster, remember that players only draw cards up to their hand size at the end of their turn. So it could be like your second action. It sounds like a second action thing. Alright, then we have Reveal Allegiance. A player can only take this action if their allegiance isn't revealed yet, and only if it results in them having enough VP to trigger the end of game based on their player count. To reveal allegiance action, the Reveal Allegiance action requires no cards to be performed. The players reveal their allegiance cards and immediately score victory points for gates they have closed open according to their allegiance, the range in which their allegiance tracker is located on the track. So I think this is the ritual and this is the investigator. So there's 2, 4, 6, 9, and 12 if it hits the top. The player does not score victory points for their second time for these a second time during the game end scoring. In addition, although ending the game in this way can be advantageous for a player, an unrevealed alliance card is worth 3 victory points at the end of the game. And in the case of dissidents, they also lose 3 victory points for revealing their allegiance card. So note, if the player miscalculated their VP and the end of game is not triggered, they lose all victory points scored from this action. So be good at math. Reset them to their previous victory point total and turn their allegiance card face down. They forfeit this action as the Elder Ones scoff at their failure and play continues as normal. And then the final action is to pass. The players may decide to end their turn without performing further actions. So you don't have to, so you can pass. Okay, we talked about sanity tests. Let's find out how to do one. Whenever a player claims a card with a sanity test symbol or opens a gate, they must perform a sanity test by following these steps in order. Draw 1 sanity token from the bag. Place the token drawn in the sanity area of their dashboard. There are 2 types of tokens that can be drawn. So this is the sanity area. They are the sanity. They're considered sane. These tokens don't contribute towards a player being driven insane. The insanity. They are considered to be insane. Unless stated otherwise, a player with 3 insanity tokens is immediately driven to insanity. Remember that if an insanity is drawn as a result of a closed gate action, any recruited performing the action is obliterated. Main agents cannot be obliterated. Example: after opening a gate with a recruited agent, Agent Friday performs a sanity test and draws 1 insanity token from the bag. This is his second insanity token, and therefore the game continues. However, since the sanity test was performed as a result of opening a gate, and an insanity token was drawn, the recruited agent who performed the action is obliterated. Agent Friday removes the agent token and card from the game and returns the frame to his supply. When you are driven to insanity, a player that draws 3 insanity tokens is considered to be driven to insanity. Reveal their allegiance card if possible. If it's a cultist card, play continues with the allegiance card revealed. If it's an investigator or dissident cards, the end of the game is triggered. Perform the game end steps immediately after. So that's how you play the game. When we get to game end, we'll deal with this. But it says play continues until one of the game triggers occurs. Then once the action that triggered the game end is fully resolved, proceed to scoring. So here are the triggers. A player reaches the required number of victory points based on the player count indicated on the VP track. So victory points, 2 players 33, 3 players 30, 4 players 26, 5 players 22. A player gains 3 insanity tokens and reveals their allegiance card as an investigator. A player's main agent is assassinated. The ritual or investigator tracks reaches the last space of their track. The Deep One primary asset card action is played and all 8 Deep Ones are in play, but we've removed that from solo play. So those are the ways to do it. Now let's go to solo mode. What is different? So that is how we play the game, regular rules. Solo mode rules, gameplay. During the solo mode, the player and the Elder Ones alternate taking turns. Player gameplay. All rules for the multiplayer game apply to the player during a solo game mode, with the following exceptions. Ignore any part of an effect that would interact with another player's hand, deck, or discard pile. Resolve the rest of the effect to the greatest extent possible. So, remove multiplayer rules. Whenever a Mythos card is claimed, slide the Mythos card on the road to the left towards the Mythos deck, taking the slot of the card claimed if possible. If the Mythos row is ever depleted, immediately add a Mythos card to the row. So, while the multiplayer says that you don't, the solo player says that you do if it's ever empty. Not if you just slide it and then when it's empty, it's empty. The Elder One. So it says Elder One gameplay. The Elder One is considered to be a player with the following adjustments. Each Elder One has a goal. So let's take a look at this while I talk. There you go. Each Elder One has a goal. If their goal is achieved, they immediately win the game. So for Cthulhu immediately wins once 5 or more city spaces have no remaining primary asset cards. Okay. Each Elder One provides unique effects to the cultists which may be activated during their turn. So Cultist 1, add influence to the primary asset card in each city adjacent to the city this cultist is in, following the path order. And the path order is snake. You'll see it when I show you the board again. It's a snake path order. Okay. The Elder One does not have a deck, hand of asset cards, or a discard pile. Unless stated otherwise, any primary asset card claimed by the Elder One have its resource actions... Any primary asset cards claimed by the Elder One have its resource actions resolved and then are obliterated. City asset cards that would be obliterated are returned to the city cards area on the track board as usual. All insanity tokens gained by the Elder One are placed near the Elder One card. However, the Elder One cannot be driven to insanity. If the Elder One ever accumulates 5 or more insanity, the player reveals their allegiance card and the end of the game is triggered at the end of the Elder One's turn. The Elder One treats all investigator up-down and ritual The Elder One treats all investigator up-down track stuff as ritual up-down track stuff. Cool. So, Cultist 2, obliterate the top asset card in the first city. Place all influence from that card into limbo. Gross. Alright, so that's that. So let's talk about the cultists. Cultists are considered to be the Elder One's main agents and follow these special rules. Each cultist card is considered to be an allegiance card of the Elder One. The cards begin the game on their unrevealed side and are flipped to their revealed side if the corresponding cultist is assassinated. So unrevealed. You cannot claim the city in which this cultist is present or its primary asset for that one. And for cultist number 2, you cannot claim this. Oh, same thing. Okay. But they've got. So these are their allegiance cards. The snake pattern of the city is this. Like that. If a cultist is required to add more influence than they have... Got my eyes. If a cultist is required to add more influence than they have to a card or city space, they add all they have. If they have none, they instead retrieve all their influence from limbo to their personal supply and move to the next city as they are considered to have failed the action. Gotcha. Cultist agents do not contribute influence to cards or city spaces. The players cannot claim a city or primary asset card in the same city as a cultist agent whose cultist card is unrevealed. Any victory points scored by a cultist is considered to be an Elder One victory point. Unlike the player score, any victory point acquired by the Elder One is immediately scored. This also means the Elder One begins the game already with 6 victory points, 3 for each unrevealed cultist card. Conversely, if a cultist card is ever revealed, the Elder One immediately loses 3 victory cultist points per card. Each cultist's actions always considered a unique path during their turn from Arkham to New Orleans. Okay, so the board goes here, then it goes at the bottom, then it goes up, then it goes to Arkham, then it goes here, 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 and then back around, back up to Arkham. There is a portal from New Orleans to Arkham that is only accessible to cultists. Sure. That's how you want to explain it. Cultists in New Orleans consider Arkham an adjacent city. Whenever cultists travel, perform an action, or have any effects that refer to the first city, always start from the city in which the cultist is currently and follow the path until a city space that meets the condition is reached. On the Elder One turn, the Elder One takes his turn by revealing the top card of the cultist behavior deck and resolving it. Each card has a line for each cultist indicating the actions the corresponding cultist attempts to perform. Once the card is fully resolved, the Elder One's turn ends. If any action cannot be performed, the action fails, and the cultist performs a travel action instead. Cultists resolve actions as follows. Add influence to a city. If the city is not already controlled by a cultist, add the total influence listed on the cultist behavior card and the respective cultist card combined to the city space in which the cultist is currently present. If the city is controlled by the either cultist, it should be other, the action fails. Add influence to a primary asset card. Add the total influence of the cultist behavior card and the respective cultist card to the primary asset card corresponding to the city space in which that cultist is currently present. And? Oh, gotcha. If there is no primary asset card in that city, the action fails. God, there's so much things they can do. Okay, we'll read what they can. There's a lot they can do. A lot. They can influence Mythos cards. During the Elder One turn, the cultist behavior card revealed determined that Cultist 1 should add influence to a Mythos card. To determine on which card the Cultist influence should be added, the player checks the Mythos for I am not going to... Okay, we'll wait until the Mythos turn to see what those does. And we'll go. So we get to go first. Okay. I've been talking for almost 2 hours. And we haven't started playing, so let's give this a whirl. Let's see. So we are in Indianapolis. There's a free action on Hart Island. Obliterate 1 asset from your hand, your discard pile, or a primary asset card on a city without any. I don't want to do that. So I get 2 actions. This might be cool to get. She might be amazing to get. So I think I'm going to go for her. So my first action is I'm going to spend... So my first action is I'm going to spend this, so it's just 1 that I need to spend. And put it in my discard pile to move here from Indianapolis to Pittsburgh. My second action is I'm going to spend Did I say this right? Place influence. Add influence to amount placed to primary assets. So I'm going to add 2 influence using these 2 symbols to her card. So I'm putting 2 influence symbols on there. And discard. I just want to make sure, because their quick reference thing is terrible. Yes, I can add up to how much ever I want on the card. Cool, 2. And that is the end of my turn, so I draw back up to 5, sorry. I draw 3, back up to 5. Got some good fight, got some decent travel, and I got some good influence. So we're looking okay. So that's my 2 actions, because that's all it says you get to do. God, this book is not good. Like, Death May Die has a thing at the back that says, here is the turn structure. So now it is their turn. On their turn, they're going to draw their card, and let's see what they're going to do. Okay, so let's see what they're doing. Yeah, Yogi, sorry if I bored y'all. I'm trying to go through this as best as I can, so if y'all leave because it's boring, I totally understand. I'm sorry about that. So Cultist 1 will claim a city and fight. The Cultist claims the first city without a lock, where that Cultist has more influence than the player. If there's no such city, the Cultist removes the lock from the first city space where it has more influence than the player. If no such city exists, the action fails. So Cultist 1 said that you would claim a city where you have more influence than the other player. You don't. So that means... Oh, no problem. So that means that you don't. So after the Cultist claims a city, but you're not... The Cultist claims the first city without a lock where the Cultist has more influence than the player. If there's no such city, the Cultist removes the lock from the first city where it has more influence than the player. If no such city exists, the action fails. So the action would fail. So Cultist 1, and then Cultist 1 would fight. But there's no one for you to fight. Cultist 2 claims a primary asset card and adds influence to its city space. Okay. Claim a primary asset card. The Cultist claims the primary asset card in the first city where the Cultist has more influence on the primary asset card than the player. You don't. If there's no such primary asset card, the Cultist removes a lock from the first primary asset card where the Cultist has more influence than the player. If no such primary asset card exists, the action fails. Cool. Then it also says, add influence to its city space. Alright, so let's see how it adds influence. Add influence. If the Cultist is not already... if the city is not already controlled by a Cultist, add the total influence... Wait, did it say primary asset card? No, it says city space. Nope. Yep, city space. If the city is not already controlled by cultists, add the total influence listed on the cultist behavior card, which for you, cultist 2 is 1. Yeah, because the other one's 2. To the city... combined... Oh, it's 2. So it's you and this. So that's 2. So combine those 2 to the city space in which the cultist is currently present. So cultist 2 is you, so you're adding 2 influence to the city space. And that's it. That's their turn. Quick, fast, and in a hurry. Okay, so then it's back to me. Okay. I'm going to claim, right? It has to be my first action that I take. Claim a card or city where you have the most influence. So I'm going to claim her. This goes to Limbo. she spawns in my space, and she goes into discard. So that was my first action, and then we reveal this card. Agent Y Herb. Holy crap, I want that guy too. Man with the golden gun. Okay. Now we know Cthulhu's goal is to not have primary assets on a space. So what after we claim it, I think I did everything I was supposed to do. My question is, how do we get more on the board? That's the thing I don't know. Move the influence cubes from the city space to limbo. Give everybody back their cubes if they have it. Follow the steps for claiming each type of card. She just had an action. Resolve claim effects on the claim if possible. Follow the steps required for claiming each type of city or asset card see below. Claiming a primary asset card. The player takes the card from the board and places it in their discard pile. If the card is a recruited agent, the player adds a corresponding token, slides it into the frame, then place the recruited agent where we are. Then they reveal the next city card, if any. If the card's revealed as an agent, place the token on it, which I did. If the card claimed was the last one in the deck, the ritual track by 2 and add 1 Mythos card from the deck to the Mythos row. Okay. Cool, so terrible things happen if I do that. Gotcha. So that was my first action. My second action is I'm going to move it. So I'm going to spend this card, and it's 2. I'm going to move her here, because we have a travel pattern here, to the secret order. And I'm going to move you... I'm going to move you up 1 to Boston, because there's a thing to do with that thing. Okay, those are my 2 actions. Then it is your turn. Oh, wait. How does this work? I probably screwed that up. From the first round, let me check it out. Elder 1 goal, cautious effects. Okay. The Elder One does not have a deck, hand of asset cards, or discard pile. Unless stated otherwise, any primary cards claimed by the Elder One have its resource actions resolved and then are obliterated. Elder Ones provide unique effects to the cultists which may be activated during their turn. 22. Maybe, it says. Cultist effects. Each Elder One card contains unique effects granted to each cultist. Whenever a cultist behavior card with a cultist effect is revealed, follow the instruction listed on the Elder One card. If for any reason the cultist is unable to perform the effect, the action fails, then the cultist travels to the next city as usual. So your one failed, you would travel to the next city, which is what I forgot to do, which would be this way. Each Elder One card contains unique effects granted to each cultist. Whenever a cultist behavior card with a cultist effect is revealed, follow the instruction listed on the Elder One card. So Cultist 1 adds a influence to the primary asset card in each city adjacent to the city this cultist is in, following the path order. So you would add 1 here, because you were here. That's the path order. So that's the adjacent city. It says each adjacent city. So the next adjacent city would be New Orleans, since you were in Arkham. So 1 would go there. It's not you. It's red. Red. And then Cultist 2, obliterate the top asset card in the first city. Place all cubes from that into limbo. So what is considered the first city? What is considered the first city? Is the city that you're started in? I read that, and now I can't remember what it was. I forgot to do those, so I'm doing them real quick before his next turn. First city. I'm assuming it's the city it's in? After both cultist behavior cards with the cultist effect have been fully resolved, shuffle the discard pile into the deck. There are only 2 cards. Okay, so it says, if for any reason the cultist is unable to perform the effect, the action fails, then the cultist travels to the next city as usual. There are only 2 cards with the cultist effect in the cultist behavior deck. Scramanga was the man with the golden gun. After both cultist behavior cards with the cultist effect have been fully resolved, shuffle the discard pile into it. Gotcha. So there's 2 of them, and I just pulled 1. And then they get reshuffled. So they're always coming back up. But what's the first city thing? Where did I see that? Index, you bastards. Index! I don't want to read through this whole frickin' book again to find the words curse. First city. First city. I'm assuming it's going to be the city that they're in. So you would obliterate the top acid card in the first city, because that was a cultist card. Right? Because the next card is a cultist card. They're all cultist cards. So what the hell are you talking about? During this turn, the reveal cultist behavior card determines that cultist 1 should perform its cultist effect. Oh, it says it's cultist effect. So these are cultist effects. I'll have to reshuffle if I see this. Yes. Okay. The world makes sense again. Okay, let's reshuffle these. I understand. Okay, let's take these off. We played it right. We played it right. So, these are cultist effects. They do not trigger unless the card says perform the cultist effect. So we're okay. We played the game right. My problem, though, and there are 2 cards that say cultist effect on them. When they both have been played, we reshuffle the discard pile into the deck again. So the cultist effect always has a chance of happening. I understand. Whew, okay. Now we need to find what the hell first city means. I'm slowly edging on this is dumb. It's gonna be the city that you're in. But let's see if we can find it. I'm just skimming right now for the word first city. If anyone wants to pop onto BGG or something. The cultist claims the first city without a lock, where the cultists have more influence than there. So the first city is the city with the most influence. That's what the first city is. The cultists claim the first city without a lock, where the cultists have more influence than the player. So a city without a lock where you have the most influence is called the first city. Why not just say the city with the most influence, Nimrods? Okay. Their turn. That's just silly. Okay, Cultist 1 is going to open a gate. Add influence to the primary asset card in that city. So let's make sure we do this right. So they're going to open gate. Open a gate. If that gate has neither been closed nor opened, and if combined total of fight on the cultist behavior card, the corresponding cultist card, and on all cultist agents present in that city space matches or exceeds the gate value, the action succeeds. If for any reason the cultist cannot open the gate, the action fails. After the cultist successfully opens the gate, perform the following steps in order. So he's trying to open the gate. Why not just say open gate? Fucking hell, game. It's trying to perform an open gate action, and it needs 4 to be able to do it. So it has 1, 2, 3, plus the 1 on itself, which is 4. So it does succeed. So it says, so after the cultist successfully opens the gate, perform the following steps in order. Place the corresponding cultist control token on the gate slot of the city on top of the gate token from the general supply. So we'll grab the gate token. You needed, sorry, you didn't need 4, that's the city. You needed 4 for the gate, so he did get that. See if I can zoom in any closer. Yeah, so you see here, needed 4. So he did have that. 1 fight there, and 3 fight on the card, which allowed him to have the 4. The gate opens. He will put his control token on top of the gate. The Elder one scores victory points equal to the gate value. So this is the Elder one's token. The gate value is 4, so you're going to go to 10. And then he will perform... Yeah, and then he will perform a sanity test for the cultist. So we'll reach in the bag. Pull a sanity token, which is insane. So that goes next to the board because on the rules, it says, cultist perform a sanity test by drawing 1 random sanity token from the sanity bag. If it is sane, it has no effect and is obliterated. If it is insane, place it next to the Elder board. If the Elder one ever accumulates 5 or more, reveal the allegiance cards and trigger the endgame. Okay, so that was your card to... So that was... Oops, sorry. Wrong thing. Boop, boop. So that was cultist number 1, and then it says add influence to the primary asset card in its city. So it's 1, and your cultist number 1, so 3. So you're adding 3 influence. Cultist number 1 has 2, so you're adding 3 here. Then cultist number 2, claim a city, which you can. Add influence to an available Mythos card. Okay, so claim a city. The cultist claims the first city without a lock, where the cultist has more influence than the player. If there's no such city, it fails, but it doesn't. After cultist claims the city, perform the steps in order. Move all influence from the respective cultist on the city space to limbo. Return all other influence on the city or players to their personal supply, and or the cultist's personal supply. Remove the player's control token, if any. If the player's control token is removed, reduce their VP. Place a control token belonging to the cultist claiming the city in the corresponding city space. Oh, wait, you're trying to claim a city. To claim a city, you have to do the thing with the thing, right? It says the cultist claimed the first city without a lock where the cultist has more influence than the player. If there's no such city, the cultist... Oh, no, you just get it. Okay, so you gain this city. You don't even have to match this value. That sucks. I have to match the value, but you don't. Oh, no, that's for fighting. Place a control token belonging to the cultist claiming the city in the corresponding control slot, and place a lock on the city space, if possible. The Elder one scores victory points equal to the claim control value, which is 6, so you're going to 16. Jesus. Okay. Place the corresponding city asset card face up next to the elder one, which would be New York City. New York City? So New York City is this. And he claims that. After resolving the resources on the city asset card. Wait. Holy crap, hold on. Place the corresponding city asset card face up next to the elder one and resolve actions based on its resources from the cultist that claimed it. So this goes up one. If the card was in a player's hand, they draw one asset card to replace it. If the card was in their deck, they reshuffle their deck afterwards. After resolving the resources on the city asset card, obliterate the card and return it to the city cards area on the trackboard. So you're telling me I have to claim a city, but you don't. Let me look at claiming cities for me. The player places their control token on the city control slot. If another player had control of the city, they take back their control token. Okay, but how do you claim it? A player can never claim a city they already control. Agent Monday begins his turn by using... Oh, no, you just claim it. Okay. Alright, so that was... Agent 2. Claims a city. Adds influence to an available Mythos card. Add the total influence of the cultist behavior card and the respective cultist card to the first card in the Mythos row without cultist influence. So you're cultist 2. You're only adding 2 to this card. Cool. Cool. That sucked. That was very difficult. Okay, so it's my turn. I don't feel like I've done much. I really don't feel like I've done much. Oh, and I was supposed to drop the 5, right? I only have 4. 5. What are all these things? I think for my first action, I'm going to spend these 3 to put 4 influence here. And then for my second action, I'm going to move her here. Okay, what do we got? Cultist 1. Claim a primary asset card. Add influence to an available Mythos card. So you're going to try to claim that card, but I have more influence than you do. So when it says claim a primary... The cultists claim the primary asset card in the first city where that cultist has more influence. You don't, so it fails. So because it fails and I have more that I stopped you, you will move here. So we stop that. Then it says add influence to an available Mythos card. So that's 1, 2, 3. You're going to add 3 to the Black Goat. It's usually cards without influence first. And the respective cultist card to the first card in Mythos Road without cultist influence. And then cultist 2 is going to fight. There's no one to fight. But it's going to add influence to its city space. It already owns the city space, so it will move 1. And that is that. All right, that was a little better. Okay, so then it's... Oh, I need to draw. 1. Shuffle these up. I get it. I think I get the flow of the game. This game is meant to be... They tacked on a solo mode. It is meant to be played multiplayer, because I get it. I get how this game will be fun multiplayer. I will probably want to try this with Pac-Man or with Mark or Steve. And no, Steve won't play competitive games, so it would be with Pac-Man or Mark. To try this out, because I think it probably shines at like 4-player count. With two actions, turns move fast. With solo mode, it's okay. I get it. All right, so my turn. I'm going to claim this card. So my 4 will go here. You get your stupid stuff back. I will take this. So as an action, close or open a gate with one of your agents without sanity testing, and then obliterate this card. That goes to my discard pile as my first action. We reveal this. Agent Alice Ocris. Okay. All right. Then I want to hang on to that card. I'll play these 2 to place 2 influence here. Steve would make you play on hard mode with additional rules to make it harder. Agreed. He'd throw everything in at once. But the turns move fast, now that I understand how the turns work. So, cultist number 1, claim a primary asset and add influence to its city space. There is nothing y'all have on there, so that fails. So, because it failed, you would move. And then you would add influence to your city space. I need to get over there. So basically, I'm putting out fires. It's 2 plus 1, 3. Cultist 2 claims a city space. Claims a city space. Son of a biscuit! The first city with luck where they have the most influence would be up there, and then they would fight, but there's no one to fight. So they are going to claim this city. This goes here to Limbo. They will do this and gain 6 more. So what's that? 22? I haven't even moved on this track. The cultist can only assassinate if the player has a current score of 5 victory points or more. Yeah, you can't assassinate anybody, I got. So you gain that, and when you gain it, you throw a lock on the city. The sauce is awesome. I gain 2 more. Okay. I want this card. I think I'm going to go for this card next. Okay. So then it's my turn. I'm going to spend this one to move. And then I'm going to spend this to put an influence on that. Because that, I will claim Arkham if I gain that, which is good. Okay, then I draw 2. Alright, she's my fighter. We'll draw 1 from here. Cultist 1 fights. I don't have enough victory points. Add tokens to its city space for Cultist 1. The city space is already claimed, so you will move here. So you won't do that. Cultist 2 claims a primary acid card. Just claims a primary acid card. Add influence to an available Mythos card. So you don't have anything on there to claim. So you would... Did I get the snake movement wrong on that guy? I did. You should have been here. And you can't fight me because I don't have 5. But you will claim... You can't claim a primary acid card because you don't have any influence, so you moved. So you'd have moved down, so that means you would move here. And then add the total influence of the cultist behavior card and a respective cultist card to the first card in Mythos without a cultist influence. If all Mythos cards have cultist influence, add influence to the first Mythos card without influence of the cultist taking the action. What? If all Mythos cards have cultist influence, add influence to the first Mythos card without influence of the cultist taking the action. I can't, so you would move again because you did that twice. If all Mythos cards have influence of the respective cultists, add influence to the first Mythos... Oh. If all Mythos cards have influence of the respective cultists, add influence to the first Mythos card. So 2 more on the first card. And that's that. Okay, my turn. Claim. Claiming this card because it says, when we claim it, claim Arkham and its city asset card to an added city asset card to your hand. Plus, it's a sanity test we have to do. So we're going to claim Arkham. We get, only 2 victory points. Fantastic. And then we add the Arkham city asset card to our hand, which is that, which we're definitely going to use because we're struggling. We're struggle bussing here. And then we need to perform a crazy test. That's when we claim it. Then this goes to our discard pile. Crazy test. Our first crazy. First of 3. So that was my first action. My second action, I want to fight that cultist. Cultist 1 is harder to fight, but he's in a good space. So my second action is I'm going to move. I'll move 1 here. Let's see. I hate these things. 1 here, and you will move down. Alright, that's my 2 actions. Your turn. Cultist 1 claims the city. You don't have one to claim. Add influence to an available Mythos card. So you will move here. And then you're going to add your influence, which is 3. Jeez. This one. Alright. I don't know what happens at the end of that. How do you claim it? It doesn't say claim a Mythos, so we'll just keep going. Cultist 2 opens a gate. I think you just do, right? When I read that, you just do. If the gate has neither been closed or open, and its combined total, so the gate's 5, you have 2, 4, 5, which is enough. You pop the gate. You put your token on it. And you do your insanity check. It's 2 of 5. Add influence to the primary asset in that city. And your influence will be 2. Bastard. Okay, stop me from doing what I want to do. And you will gain 5 victory points, so 27. I'm getting destroyed. I've only moved 2. I hate... Ugh. So it's a chase, basically. So once you get to 35, the game's over. Quick game. Gotcha. My first action... So how much will I need to fight? 3? I have 3. What does the skull mean for you? It just tells me that your action is to fight. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. When fighting, if it meets, does that work? When I assassinate? When I want to fight, because I want to kill you, you suck. To assassinate another player's agent, a player must have agents present in the same city space as another player's agent. Unless stated otherwise, Revenant agents can't be assassinated. Play an asset card that allows that agent to perform that action with skull. Match or exceed the city's control value, which is 3. Okay, match or exceed the city control value with the punch following the restrictions of playing the fewest cards needed to perform the action. Agents controlled by the player performing the action that are present can contribute. So I need to beat the city value. Okay, so let's see. Agent Thursday, recruited agent. Is there a thing for... A cultist can only assassinate... Nope. I think I could just kill you. Yeah, I just have to match the city value, not your fight. Yeah, I just have to match the city value to kill you. Okay, so I will do... my first action is to fight you. I will be using this fight action to do it. And I just need to meet a 3. 1, 2, 3. So you are defeated. So what happens when you defeat an agent? A cultist, should I say. Cultists are considered to be the Elder One's agents and follies. Each cultist card is considered to be an allegiance card of the Elder One. The cards begin the game on the unrevealed side and are flipped to their revealed side if the corresponding cultist is assassinated. Okay, so it'll flip to its revealed side. Okay. Oh, it allowed... I see. So when it flips its reveal side, we can now claim cities and gain primary assets from locations where they are. But they're going to get -3 victory points at the end of the game because we killed that cultist. So he'll still activate, but he'll do stuff. So he's been... Does this flip over? Oh, it's the same thing. Alright, so that was my first action. My second action is I'm going to do this to move this track up 2. And then what happens after I use this? Does it go... I think it goes in my discard pile. Yeah, it does. And that's my 2. So then 1, 2... Okay, your turn. Cultist 1 performs its cultist effect. Its cultist effect. Add influence to the primary asset card in each city adjacent to the city this cultist is in the following the path order. So primary asset. So there, adjacent. Oh, you're there. Sorry, there and here. So that is what you do. Next one. Claim a Mythos card. Adds influence to the primary asset in its city. Oh, that sucks. Okay, let's do it. Claim the Mythos card first. The cultist claims the first Mythos card without a lock, where the cultist has more influence than the player. That'd be this one. After cultist claims a Mythos card, perform the following actions. Move all influence from the Mythos card belonging to the cultist claiming the card to limbo, which would be black. Return all other to you. Place the Mythos card face up next to the Elder one, then resolve actions based on its resources. So when you claim, boop, boop, and the ongoing effect... The Elder one scores 1 VP. If the Mythos card matches the Elder one, it scores 3. 1 VP. And so what do you do? The corresponding cultist agent travels a number of city spaces equal to the total listed on the cultist card and claim card combined. So ongoing on your cards may be used as, yeah, so you gain that. So what about ongoing effects? Each resource action is resolved one at a time in the following order if present. Okay. Alright, so that was you. What else are you doing? Adds influence to the primary asset in your location. So you have 1, 2. No, I must stop you. And that's your 2 actions. My action is I'm going to do 2. Can't let you do that, partner. And 1. Can't let you do it. Actually, no. No. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to lock it. Nope. Okay. Then I draw 1, 2. And your turn. Claim a Mythos card asset in its city. You can't, you can. So you are actually adding 3. Oop, nope, wrong person. 3 here. You don't have any influence on that, but we would draw a new one. So you can't claim a Mythos card Oh, you can't claim a Mythos card, which means you would move, and then you try to place, but I've locked that, so you can't place. And then Cultist number 2 performs its action. Obliterate the top acid card in the first city. So the city with your most influence. Son of a biscuit. Alright, what happens when you obliterate? Obliterate. Exodia. Obliterate. Effects may obliterate cards or tokens during the game. Whenever a card's obliterated, remove it permanently until the end of the game, returning its box. If an agent card or token, remove its token from the frame, return the frame to the player, and remove the card token until the city assets cannot be obliterated. If a city asset card would be obliterated, return it to the city cards area on the trackboard instead. Yeah, but what happens if there's influence on it? I'm assuming it goes back to us, right? When you obliterate, does it go to limbo? Does it go to us? What does it do? The top asset card. So, I'm assuming it'll go back to us, because otherwise I got nothing. This gets discarded. And then this flips over. Oh, and this is supposed to flip over. 2 agents. I'll get their tokens. Let's do it. So you have agent. There you are. Rock Samson. And agent Silda Chavos. Alright, then this deck is empty. We'll reshuffle. And it's my turn. First action, raise this up 1. Second action. I have enough fight for you. I'm gonna fight that guy. So I'm going to fight you. I need an action to do it. The action and the fight don't work out. Nope, that doesn't work out. I can't fight him. I'm going to claim the city. How do I claim the city? Claim city has to be your first action, so sure, I'll do this, and then I'll claim the city. Claim Providence. The card claim city. The players control their control token on the city control slot. If another player, so I just need to take the city by beating its value. So I'm going to take the city action, and what do I need to do it? The players place their control token on the city control slot. Yeah, but how do you claim a city? Oh, I need to put influence on it, then claim it. Okay. So I'm going to put... Instead, we'll do what we did before. And I'll put 1 on here. Claim that city, and then I should be able to claim it next round. Okay, your turn. Okay, so claims a city. You don't have 1 to claim, so you will move. Add 1 to 3 to a Mythos card. 2 is gonna pop a gate. You don't need to, you can't because that's already open. and add influence, which is 2, to the primary asset card that's there. And I'm supposed to draw 2 cards. Okay. We're going to claim this city. We just need 3, so that's 1. And I think that's what we have to do is to fight for it. Or do you just claim it? I keep having to look this up. Move their influence cubes from the card of city or claim it. Who has the most can claim it. Yep, it's whoever has the most controls it. So I'm going to claim. This will go here. I'm going to claim the city. And I go 1, 2, 3. Alright, they can fight me now. Alright. And I claim Pittsburgh. And does this go to my hand? No, this goes to my discard. So that was my first action. My second action is I'm going to move. I see how we do this. I'm going to move here and here. I'll gain 1 card. Alright, your turn. Claim a city. There's no city for you to claim. Cultist 1, so you will move. Down. No. Yeah, because it goes from here to here. Yeah, I had it right. Down here. So you would have moved over here last time, sorry. And you'd have put your 2 here. I went in the wrong direction. Okay. And then you would fight if you could. Because it says Cultist 1 would fight, but let me see what it means by fighting. It says, a cultist can only assassinate if the player has a current score of 5 EP or more. The cultist assassinates an agent belonging to the player in the city space where the cultist token currently is. Okay. Then Cultist 2, claim a primary asset card and add influence to the city. So you'll claim this. And then you'll move this up 1, and this card goes away. And you're going to add a token here. Okay, so me, I'm actually going to use her first 2 at her to put 2 here in the city. And then I'll put 2 nope. Then I'll try to can I oh I need a card to tell me I can close the gate, and I do. Fight or close a gate in the city space with the main, obliterate this card. So this card gets obliterated, but I try to close that, and I need to meet a 4 1 2 3 4 to close that gate. So I did close the gate. I had an action to let me do it. Match or exceed the fight value, which I did. Place a gate token corresponding and my token on top of it. So you take your stupid token back. You'll lose 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Lock it down. I put my token on it, and I gain 1, 2, 3, 4. Then I need to test sanity. 2 of 3. Oh boy. Okay. Then I'd redraw up my 5. 4. 5. Did we already do perform cultist effects? This is the first one. This is the first one. Alright, so the first one is perform a cultist effect for 1. Add influence to the primary asset card in each city adjacent. So it's you, so here and here. Following path order. Then Cultist 2, claim a Mythos card. You can. And then add influence to the primary asset card in the city, which would be 2 for you. You claim this. Back to you. The Black Goat. Gain 1 influence from the general supply. Oh, not from Limbo. So you gain 1. After taking an action, add influence, you may add another influence to a primary asset card. So you gain that. Okay. That sucked. Then it's my turn. I'm going to claim this city. So screw off, dude. So I'm going to claim this city. I need 4. Oh, no, I don't. I don't need 4 to claim the city. I just claim the city. With influence, I gain 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I need to test. Oh, no, I don't need to. Not for claiming a city. I just claim it with 4. And I gain the city, which is the lost city of Atlanta. I will then move my tracker up 1, 2. Now I'm starting to slowly catch up. His turn. Open a gate! For Cultist 1. So you have 3, 4. You can't. You can't. It costs 5 to open a gate. You can't open a gate, so it fails. So you would move. Add 1 to a primary asset in its city. Claim a city. Nothing for you to claim, so you're going to move. Add to an available Mythos card, which would be 2. I have not claimed the Mythos card yet. There's so much going on. Alright. So let's do this to put an influence. Actually, no, let's do this to raise this up 1. And then we're going to do some moving. So I'm going to move. here. And claim that city. Actually, I won't move. Let me place influence. Place one influence cube here. Try to see if I can claim that city. Alright, your turn. Claim a primary asset card. This one has 2 on it, so you will claim that. You will move this up 1. And what does that symbol mean for you? Add the total influence list on the cultist card and the claim card to the primary asset card in the city space in which the cultist is currently present. None left to add, and this guy is obliterated. And add 1 Mythos card to the Mythos row and move this up twice. Then claim a city. You have no city to claim, so you're going to boop, 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 boop. Back up here. Then you're going to fight, but there's no one to fight. I draw up. I'm going to claim this city. Four. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then Pittsburgh's going to help me move up 1, 2. Cultist 1 will fight. No one to fight. Add influence to city space. Your influence is 3 for Charleston. Cultist 2, claim a primary asset. You can definitely do that. What does the punch do for you? Immediately gain 3. 1, 2, 3. Open the gate of the city in which the cultist is currently present. Ugh. And you need to test sanity. So you're gonna... Where are you? You're over there. You're gonna open a gate. You have 2. It costs 7. Screw that, you fail. Oh, it just says open the gate. It didn't say you have to test. It just says open it. So you will gain 7. 1 away from game over. And claims the primary asset. So you're going to claim a primary asset. Oh, you already did. And add influence an available Mythos card, which would be 2. And that's it for you. Alright, well, this game's almost over. So... let's do... I've already fought you. I'm going to spend 1 to move here. I'm going to lock this city. Can't claim it. I won't let you do it. Oh, and when this went blank, this would have gone up 2 and added another Mythos card to the row. There's my 2. Claim a primary asset card and add influence to a Mythos. You'll add 3 to this one. You're claiming an asset. In order from where you are would be this one. Action, place that as an action. It doesn't have any symbols, so you don't gain the symbols from it. this over. Claim, add to the Mythos, which I did. And the other one, fight. Nope, that's you. It's still you. So then that one, you would be fight. There's no one for you to fight. And add to city space. You're going to add 2. You don't have any. Suck it. Then my turn, which means you would move. We're going to fight. 1, 2, 3. Flip. So that's fighting. And then I'll move. One, 2. That's me. 1, 2, 3. 4, 5. Okay. Claim a Mythos card, which you will. You get those back. These go to limbo. This goes up 1. Let's set. Add influence to an asset, a card in its city. There isn't one to add, so that fails. And then you'll perform your cultist. Obliterate the top asset card in the first city. You don't have one, so you will move. Place all cubes from that card in the limbo. Okay, cool. And this will get reshuffled. And it is my turn. So let's add 2 influence here. And let's add 3 influence here. That's it. All right. Cultist 1, pop a gate. There's one already there, so you're going to move here. Add influence primary asset, you can't. Cultist 2, claim a city. I locked it, and you don't have anything there, so you can't. So you'll move. Add influence to an available card, which would be 2 going there. Let's get these numbers up, shall we? We're going to do this for 1, 2. And then we're going to do this for 1, 2. Claim a primary asset. Add influence to available Mythos, so you will claim this one. Free action, draw an asset card and add 2 influence to it. And then that's it for this one. This gets put at the bottom. And then add to an available Mythos card, you're adding 3. That one, fight, can't add to its city space. It's locked, so you would move. Oh, fight, so you would move. Can't do that, so you would move. I got 2. Okay. Let's spend this to move up 1. And then, actually, let's claim that card first before we do it. That'll be our second action. First is to claim the city. So we'll claim the city. 2, 3. And then the second one, we do that to bump you up 1. And that's me. Come on, finish this. Cultist 1. Fight. You can't. Move. And adds cubes to your city space, which would be 3. Cultist 2, claim a primary asset. You don't have anything to claim, so you would move. Adds, you don't have any, so you would move again. And I'm supposed to draw one more. Alright, I'm going to trigger endgame then. I'm going to do this. Boom, boom. We triggered the endgame for the first action. And the second action, I'm going to claim this. Actually, first action, claim this. Second action, trigger that. Free action. Obliterate one asset card from your hand. You discard your discard pile or a primary asset card on a city without any on it. Nah. That goes in my discard anyway. So that was my 2. Then his turn, and then we trigger the end game. Claim a city. You definitely can do that. Okay. Fight, which means you would move back up here. Claim a primary asset card, you can't. And add to your city space. You can't, so you'll move. Alright, end game. Ugh. The player exceeds 35. Players driven insane. Elder 1 gains 5th. Yep, we're good, we're good, we're good. Follow the usual rules for scoring. Endgame, scoring. Players score VP according to the general value. General scoring. Each player scores 3 VP if their allegiance card was not revealed during the game. Boom. Each player scores VP for any cards and agents they have claimed with VP, such as Danvers State Hospital, Herbert, West. You don't have any. You lose so you lose 6. Because -3, -3. Each player checks for any endgame effects on their Mythos cards, which can provide additional VP or tie-breaking, which is what that was. You gain 1 for Black Goat. Cool. Investigators. Investigators score VP equal to the range in which the investigator tracker is located on the track, which I'm at 12. So I gained 12 extra. So what's that? 35. Cultists score VP equal to the range in which the ritual tracker is, so they would gain 6. So they're at 36. So they already beat me. For how many gates they have... Oh, for how many closes I have 36 for a close. But they have 1, 2 gates. So they would be 38. 36 to 38. And that's it. They beat me by 2 points. And that's the game. That's the game. So they beat me by 2 points. Pushing that to the top really helped. But yeah, so that is Dark Providence. This game is not meant for solo. I'm gonna say that right now. It's tacked on. I do not, and I will continue to say I do not like games where you have to point chase a machine that scores constantly when you play 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. When you play with players, it's not that simple, right? So I'm always against games that's like you're on a point hunt against against an NPC that, I mean, when I started, I was at 0. He was already at 18. But on a player's turn, it won't get to that level. So it'll be close or but it won't be that effect. I don't feel like this game is meant for solo play. This game is meant for group play 100%. I'd probably say this is not going to stay in my collection. So this is definitely getting culled. It is not meant for, but I got the Cthulhu Death May Die stuff I wanted, but I would definitely not recommend this game for solo play. Multiplayer, this game can be fun. I can see how this game will be fun multiplayer. Closing gates, finding people, the bargaining of the push-pull, locking people out of stuff. Like, I locked him from taking this city, I locked him from taking this, I locked him from that card. Oh no, he locked me on that one. But it's just locking players out, the whole thing of trying to manage these cubes while taking an action to try to get some back, because you will run out. I mean, he ran out, was interesting. This right here became predictable. Because there's n number of cards, so you know that, and they're just full of fight symbols. So you know if they have to fight, they're gonna destroy you, right? Player number 1, or is it 2? Player number 2 automatically succeeds on any fight. So it's just auto succeeds on any fight because they have 2 innately until you defeat them, and then 3. You know, so they're going to take you down. They'll beat you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 out of 11, they will beat you. Or 9 out of 12, sorry, 4 by 3. 9 out of 12, they will beat you. Like, anytime there's to fight, they're going to kill something. Which, that doesn't play well with this, right? Because here I've got a character that doesn't... I have to be very careful how I fight. Because the highest I have is just a 2 where they get 3s. And I understand why they did it, but here's a character who doesn't have a fight to help. So if she's fighting, I have to be able to initiate her fight. And then from there, I have to be able to make up the difference. Whereas with my main investigator, I have 1 innate fight. So I can trigger a fight, and then it's a less difference to make up. So there's a lot of thinking that has to go into that. With the cultists, it's just, alright, if they're in your space and they fight, they kill you. The end. There's nothing you can do about it. So, I don't like that. I don't like this. This solo mode is very tacked on. I can feel that it's very tacked on. It would have been cool if it was something different. Maybe another great old one might be better. Once it gains 5 Mythos cards, it wins, but it's... Near Lefetep immediately wins once 5 or more gates are open. Haster immediately wins once he's claimed 4 or more agents. Dagon immediately wins once the ritual track hits 8. That's stressful. And the Black Goat immediately wins once it is claimed 4 or more cards of any type with insanity on it. That's why I'll say this game is for me. It's just It hasn't done anything that's really impressed me. But if you're playing 4 to 5 player, this will be a fun competitive game. 1 or even 2 player, I don't think it's meant for that. I think they just tacked on solo so they can make some sales. I'll be real about that. So this is a hard pass for me. It was fun to play, but I'm kind of done with it. So I'll be culling my copy out. Well, at least you got to see it to make a decision for yourself on maybe it's for you. Maybe it's something that you like. Maybe it's something that you enjoy. But for me, this is on the poorer end of an Arkham game that I would like. It's definitely on the poorer end. So I'll punch it all out, organize it, put it on the cull pile, and it'll go out in the next wherever it's going, and we'll see where it goes from there. Cool. That's going to be all for today. The stream for tonight's going to get moved because Pac-Man couldn't make it, so I'll move it to next Thursday. And then I think tomorrow I've got something going on. What I got going on tomorrow? Nothing. I'll stream something tomorrow. I just don't know what yet. So we'll go from there. Thanks everybody for joining. Hopefully this gave you a sense of how to learn to play the games, which is the whole purpose of the series. So sorry if it was a little lackluster, boring at the beginning as I was trying to figure out how to play. We got into playing, it became a little bit more smooth, and then the game just kind of blah. I might, you know what I might play tomorrow? I'm oscillating between Contra or Iron Helm. So let me know what you think you'd like to see. I'll ask my my YouTube members what they'd like to see, and that's what I'll set out for tomorrow. It's either going to be Contra or Iron Helm, and we'll learn that. All right, everybody. Thanks so much. Thanks to my patrons, subscribers, and if you're neither coming in to hang out, thank you for joining me as well. Hope you have a great day. Happy New Year, everyone. Happy New Year. And I love you. And there's absolutely nothing you can do about it. Bye.